You know the phrase stupidly cute? I feel like my brand is cutely stupid. And it just has, I feel like I need to release some air. No, not me, the squishy. It's okay. Today, I'm going to be turning plastic bags into squishies. Let's get started. Now, you might be wondering where the root of the madness that is of this video comes from. Well, I present to you the secret box. I don't tell many people about what the inside of this box contains. Why am I caressing the box like this? Well, inside, are you ready for it? Yeah, I know. I save plastic bags and plastic packaging. Some people may call it hoarding. I call it being resourceful. This is the art of repurposing. For this challenge, I guess we should grab several different kinds of plastic bags. So I'm just gonna take this one. I guess I'll take this really crinkly one. And then, did I take a smaller bag? Yeah, okay, let's just take this smaller bag. Okay, let's close this up and we're not gonna need you anymore. Goodbye. For the smallest squishy, I want to make one of the characters that very neglected on this channel and not many people know about. It's Gerald. And he is a very special fella. Gerald is supposed to have an orange beak and orange webbed feet. It's supposed to be shaped more like a peanut and has a little curly hair sticking out on top. I want to dedicate this segment to him. I think for the filling, I'm going to try slime to get a very different consistency than what I would normally try with, you know, paper squishies. So let me get my bowl. Let me move this to the side real quick. And here's my bowl. I also have my mixing utensil. What else do we need? All right, so I have some white glue, my baking soda, and my contact lens solution. Now, FYI, I am not a slime expert. I've made it a couple times on my challenge. What does that mean? I made it a couple times on my channel, but somehow I keep screwing things over. So we'll see how things go this time around. But first step, glue. I don't know how much slime we need to make. I'm just going to pour to my heart's content. Okay, that's good enough. Oh, by the way, I just recently got white glue from Amazon and I only wanted maybe 3 bottles at most. So I paid $5 for 3 glue bottles, supposedly. The package came and there were actually 20. So it was actually 20 for 5. I have very little storage in my room. So they're just all kind of sitting in a corner and I don't want to talk about it. But at least it was a good deal. Okay, next thing, we need our baking soda. So pop the lid open. And honestly, I never learned how much baking soda we need to put in. I don't know the ratio. But I'm just going to guess. I feel like I put too much. Oh well, it's okay. Almost knocked it over. I'll deal with the consequences later. And finally, let me just pull out my contact lens solution. Ignore this. I don't use this bottle for my eyes. Purely for art purposes, I don't have contact lenses. We should mix this first. Hold on. Oh, also since Gerald is white, I don't think we need to add any color. That would make the most sense. Although I don't know if he's more of a milky white feathered bird or a white feathered bird. I have to check the clips. Okay, that's good enough. And then I'm just going to squeeze in a little bit of contact lens solution and pray that things turn out. I feel like the way that clear school glue clumps together in slime is so much different than how white glue clumps up. Every time I made clear slime, I always have this fear in the back of my mind that the bubbles are never going to clear up. But with white slime, I totally don't have to deal with that. We're making some good progress. Pretty much all the contact lens solution we need, actually. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Let's add some more. I heard there's this term called slime hands. I don't think I have that. Before this thing dries out, we're going to pour the slime into our bag. If it'll cooperate with me. Oh my god, it's sticking to my fingers. The last thing I want is the slime to be stuck onto the actual zipper part. Not a zipper, what is this? Okay, I think I need more contact lens solution. Give me a second. Let me wash my hands and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. My hands are mostly clean. This is what we have so far. Oh no, there's more slime on the top. Let me just drop that in real quick. All right, and then we're going to zip the bag. Try to squeeze out as much air as possible. Let me just put away all this stuff first. Bye-bye. You almost ruined my table. Let me just try to distribute the slime evenly throughout the bag. Oh, this is a very nice texture. So now we have a white surface that we could squish around. You know what? For extra measure, we should probably tape the top so that the slime doesn't, you know, burst out and ruin my life. So I have my clear tape and my scissors. folding behind. So I think I'm just going to draw an outline of Gerald and then add some color. I have my Sharpie here. So he has a peanut shaped body. He has his feet. You know, the Sharpie is applying way better than I imagined. And then we should draw his face. And finally, his one strand of hair. All right, and here's Gerald. I think we should add some extra color to his feet and beak. Update, I added in the orange and I also added an extra layer of black because I think the first Sharpie layer was not opaque enough. I just wanted to add some extra protection to the ink I just applied, so I think I'm going to add an extra layer of tape. I didn't pay attention to the air bubbles, so there's now one streak. I'm sorry, Gerald. Here's Gerald. Honestly, very fun to squeeze. It's very simple. Just can't stop playing with it. But this is our first plastic bag squishy. Alright, next challenge. This guy. To be honest, this is the one I was avoiding the most because it has the most crinkles, as you can tell. But I think for this particular squishy, I think I'm going to make, you know that one red button that you're supposed to press? Wait, no, you're not supposed to press. It's trying to provoke you for no reason. It's a rage baiter. For the filling, I'm going to try using tissue. I don't know how well this is going to go over with the plastic bag, but we're just going to try and make it work. Okay, so first, I'm going to stuff the tissue into the bag. Okay, maybe we need a little bit more. Maybe I should have used a smaller bag for this. If I could squish this for decades on end, it'll be all worth it. I'm gonna squeeze out all the air. To make this into a button shape, I'm going to tape this part into a loop, attach the two ends together. Just trust me, okay? Well, honestly, I don't really trust myself, but I'm just going to attempt to mold this into a button shape. I think I'm going to have to use some tape to help me shape this thing. I just need to compress the squishy a little bit and then I should be all good. And then this side needs some taping too. See, I don't know if this is easier than if I just made a paper squishy. Assuming I had no paper, I guess this would be the next best option. I'm going to try to cover this in my red marker. The thing is, I don't know if the ink of this marker will apply well on the areas where I added tape. Oh, did the plastic bag burst open? Oh shoot. Well, I'm just gonna have to deal with that later. Since there's so many creases now that I taped into this ball shape, I feel like I'm making no progress. Based on that one video where I made a blind bag using your comments, that one moon cheese squishy I covered using this white pen, it just started cracking the moment I started squishing it. I don't have a gloss varnish with me, but I think I'm going to try white glue since it dries clear. I don't have a palette. Oh wait, I guess I could just use my scrap plastic. It'll work for now. I knew this would come in handy one way or another. Hey, I'm gonna go in with my paintbrush. This is not a foolproof method. I have never tried this before. Here's the squishy all covered in glue. And this is what it looks like. The red ink isn't exactly evenly applied. The worst part is that this thing isn't that squishy. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna cover this with another plastic bag. Let's just secure the bottom. I was just recently thinking of what my branding is. You know the phrase stupidly cute? I feel like my brand is cutely stupid. I feel like I need to release some air. No, not me, the squishy. I'm gonna poke a couple holes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, this by itself, you know, it's fine as a squishy, but it doesn't really look like a red button to me. So I think I'm going to use some paper and a gray marker so that I can add a metal band around the squishy. Okay, here it is. And here is our red button squishy. I think the extra plastic bag really helped. You can press this thing as many times as you want without any negative consequences. But now let's move on to the final squishy. For our last paper, why do I keep saying paper? For our last plastic bag squishy, we have this. I think I made a squishy from this before, but I want to try a different design. Since a lot of you guys compare my logo to Kirby, I like Kirby very much, but it was just a mere coincidence to be honest. I'm going to be making Kirby today. So for the filling, I think I'm going to try my hand at plastic bags. Because from my prior experience, these things are definitely very promising. Let me give you an example. So for example, this is my M&M's pumpkin pie squishy. It has plastic bag filling and it just has a bunch of air, very slow rising. The main reason I'm using this though is because I kind of ran out of polyfill and I'm too lazy to buy more. Anyways, let's put this plastic bag inside. I'm just going to try to mold it into a ball shape. And once we have an excess, I'm just going to twist it, squeeze the air out. This might be a little risky, but I think I'm just going to cut the tip off. And then I'm just going to tape this end back together. I don't want this to end up like a magic 8-ball from that last paper squishy video. So I think I'm going to try to use my tape to reshape this into a ball by using strips of tape and angling the plastic. I have no idea if I'm making actual real progress right now. Definitely not a ball, but I'm not doing any more than this. I'm definitely going to have to color this. Unfortunately, this is the only pink marker that I know will apply well on this kind of surface, but this is clearly too dark, so I'm probably going to have to resort to fabric paint. Here's my container that I'll be mixing in paper squishy. And I have my white and pink fabric paint, and both of them are like less than optimal amount, but we're just going to try to make this work. Oh, I also have my paint stirring stick. It's not looking the best right now. It'll work. First, I'm going to add in my white fabric paint. Yeah, this thing is definitely running out. The reason why I didn't use acrylic paint is because if I use acrylic paint and I squished it, it'll just crack and crumble off, and that's not what I want. That's it, apparently. To give it more volume, I think I'm going to try to add some white glue. I don't know if this will actually do anything, but white glue is also decently flexible. And then finally, our pink paint. When I'm in my creative mode, I don't care if everything's messy. My mind is just completely focused on project at hand. I don't know if you guys could relate to me on that. It doesn't seem like we have enough paint to cover this in multiple layers, so I'm gonna try my best to cover as much as possible and pray that things work out. It's actually applying a little better than I thought. I don't know if you can tell, but the paint is just sitting on top, which is what we want. The last thing we want is for the surface to absorb the paint. I'll just cover up most of the sides and then I'll just call it quits from there. Dang it, paint touched my finger. Okay, so here is our first and hopefully last layer. I'm just going to try and find a place for this to dry, and I'll be right back. In the meantime, I think I'm going to put a lid on this so that we can use it for later if we really need it. After some waiting, wow, this actually looks like a masterpiece in and of itself. Let me just take this off. This is actually looking better than I thought. What I wanted to do was that I feel confident enough to paint this bottom side as well. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Now, if I attempt to squish this now, I think I might pop this thing. I'm going to take a safety pin. I'm going to puncture it a little bit so that I could release some air. And once the ink is dry, I'm going to finally put some tape onto the face. This will just act as a protective layer. And here is our Kirby plastic bag squishy. Honestly, this is way better than I imagined. I feel like I poked too many holes because now it just doesn't rise back up anymore. But I definitely think it was a right call to use fabric paint. Right, and here are the 3 squishies that we made today using plastic bags. This one I like because, you know, it's Gerald, first of all, but also the texture is just so unique. I like this one because of its design, and I like this one because, first off, I love Kirby, but second of all, I just love the look of the fabric paint. I don't hate any of these squishies, and I think that's a huge win. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what kind of content you would like to see next, and I'll see you guys later. Meepyblues out.